Hello, my dear friends. Once again, I welcome you to Married Without Tears channel. I am your own Felix Okeke, your married counselor and coach. And this is a wonderful channel to be, especially if you are a couple that desires to make a success in your marriage. This is the place to be. And our topic tonight is simply titled, The Wife That Is Also a Breadwinner. The wife as the breadwinner. A woman who is in marriage and yet is functioning as the breadwinner of her home. We want to discuss that tonight. Of course, you know that the primary role of a man in marriage is to provide for his home. Whether they are physical, spiritual, emotional needs, you as the man, as the husband, is meant to provide them for your home. And of course, the role of the woman is a supportive role, trying to enable the man to actually attain the fullness of his role in marriage. That is what the woman is there to do. But I realized over a period of time that sometimes the tables can change as a result of sickness, loss of income, failure in business, or even loss of employment. A man may find himself in such a place where he's now the sit-down partner, while the woman who used to play the supportive role is now the main provider. What happens in such a circumstance? The essence of this production is simply to x-ray such a relationship, to actually look at it comprehensively and find out one or two things that may impact such a relationship, positively or negatively, and how a couple who find themselves in such a situation can actually work effectively and then safeguard their marriage and their family. That is why we are doing this very particular production, and I want you to pay me ultimate attention. Once again, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. There's this red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed and be part of this awesome family. The first thing such a woman must realize, if she's playing such a role as a breadwinner, she must realize, of course, that she is in a role that is not fundamentally hers. She is simply there to fill a void which has been led by the man, and this is a temporary void. She's there to fill it. So instead of being arrogant about it, instead of being, carried away, please, I want you as a woman to play that role with a high sense of humbleness, humility, a high sense of submission. Appreciate the role your husband has been playing. Now that you are stepping in to play that role, there's no need for arrogance. He has been doing that for a very long time and he never stepped on you. Now that the role has been reversed, please don't step on him. Don't begin to control him. Don't begin to say things you ought not to say. Otherwise, I want you, look at it as an opportunity for you to help him at this moment in time. Help him at this moment in time. This is a temporary void which you are fulfilling. So see it as a privilege instead of an opportunity to tread on him. You must watch out for that immediately. Please. The second thing you must also realize is that you must not, take away your capacity to respect him. Respect is very important. Remember, your man have lost his source of income, and one reason or the other, he will be at the lowest ebb. He will be at his lowest. Mentally, physically, psychologically, he can hardly even express himself anymore. Now, this is an opportunity for you to hype him, for you to increase his value, for you to inject those positive words that may quicken his life, that may make him become more effective as a husband, even though he's not earning an income. I have seen some people, instead of seeing that as an opportunity to actually add value to their husband, they begin to disrespect them. They begin to criticize them. They begin to use all manner of acerbic words. They begin to find fault with them. They begin to do all manner of things. But you, as a wise woman in such a role, please affirm your husband. Please respect him. Please continually see ways of adding value to him. It's an opportunity indeed that you have now. This is the time to show forth your character, what you are made on the inside. This is an opportunity when the man will actually know the woman you are. The real time of knowing a woman is not when things are easy. It's not when things are wonderful. It is at such period in time when things are bad. That is when you know a woman that has a strength of character and an inner courage. This is the time to show forth what you are made of. So please respect him and add value to him. That is what you ought to do. That's the second thing I want you to do. The third thing I also want you to do is that you must see this as an opportunity for you to find ways of bringing him back upon his feet. Find ways of bringing him back upon his feet. I've seen so many women who, tend to take on this role and make it more permanent. Instead of seeing it as a temporary opportunity, they start stepping on their husband, the kind of permanent such a condition. No, it ought not to be. You must find a way of bringing your husband back upon his feet. If you are a woman and you are in business and you are making money, at this point in time, you may decide to loan him money. And how do you do that? Find a way of sitting, calming him down. Check out a particular time that you people can talk. Sit back and then look at what he is capable of doing. The next step he desires to take. Find ways how you can help him to take that next important step. Very, very important. There is a man that, we were friends long time ago. And this man was a police commissioner. At least I think he got to the rank of an assistant police commissioner before retirement came, and then he got retired. Then getting back to the house, he started sitting at home reading newspaper and all that, and almost becoming depressive. And the woman was a businesswoman who was doing well. You know what the woman did? She asked her husband, "What can you do?" The man said, "There's no other thing I know except security. How to secure things. I can't find myself being a businessman. I don't know what else done to secure things." So what did the woman do? She deployed her family, her friends, every associate she had, trying to see whether she can get a job for this man. And before you know it, that same man got re-employed again as the chief security officer of a major construction firm. And he ended up making 4 times of the salary he was making as a police officer. This is what can happen when you kill your man, into restoring your man to that original position. A man desires to be a king, a man desires to be a leader. So when you take out this leadership and this kingly role from him, he becomes depressed. And I want you to see that from that perspective. I also had a friend who was a minister of the gospel. He tried his hand on establishing a church. The church came up to 100. Before you know it, the members started leaving one after the other. Before you know it, the church got closed down. And he became depressed. He went back to his home. He would study the Bible. He would wake up. He would meditate. But there was no place to express himself. He's not an evangelist. He's a pastor. He didn't have any other place to go. But the woman was a manager in a major cement production firm. Do you know what the woman did? One day like that, she came to the office and she saw her boss shivering. "What's the matter, sir?" The boss said, "Well, unfortunately, I am not feeling fine right now. I don't know what to do. I just managed to come to work." And the woman said to the boss, "My husband is a pastor. If he lays his hand upon you and pray for you, sir, you'll be healed immediately." And the man said, "What are you waiting for? Call your husband then." To cut a long story short, the woman invited her husband. He came around, and after praying for the man, God used him to heal that man. And he became like a god unto the boss of his wife. From there, he was able to generate income. Before you know it, he came back upon his feet. As I'm talking to you, he has a wonderful ministry again. I want you to know that as a woman, if you actually check yourself, you will find 1 or 2 things you can do to get your man back upon his feet. Who told you that civil servant that was retired cannot end up being a merchant, cannot end up being a fishery expert, cannot end up being a farmer, cannot end up doing one thing or the other? Find a way to bring your man to that leadership position which he occupied before. Very, very important. The fourth thing you must do, let me please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so immediately. Look at this red button by my side, click on it and get subscribed. Before I tell you the fourth thing, do it right now. Look at it. Just click on this, click on it. Yes, this red button, click on it. Yes, once you click on it, you become a permanent participant. You become a permanent feature, a recipient of some of the things we are doing on this program. So click on it, get subscribed. The fourth thing you must do, of course, is that you must allow wisdom. Wisdom is very important. The Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. Wisdom is very important in this matter. This is a time when you must ask God to give you wisdom, because the man will not take some of your comments objectively at this point in time. There are things you may say out of the joy of your heart and it could be misinterpreted. There may be actions you take because you want to honor your husband, or because that's how you used to do it before. But this time around, because of the psychological downward trend in the life of your husband, he may not appreciate it. So watch out the words you use. Watch out the actions you take. Don't deny him sex at that period of time. It will be misunderstood. Don't, you want to pay the children's school fees, please don't take the money and give to the children direct. When you give it to the children direct, what happens? They begin to respect you as a woman, but they will undermine, they will disregard their father. And once they disregard their father, the father will take the anger on you. You want to pay the utility bill, maybe light bill or water bill or security bill to the community or to the agencies involved, please don't pay directly. The moment you do that, the community begins to look on you as where the money is coming from. And when they see your husband, they will consider him a layabout. And when they dishonor your husband, they have dishonored you. There are things you must allow wisdom to play. You must allow wisdom. Use your head and use your mind at the same time. And of course, when you are with your husband and you see him tight-faced, don't begin to ask him, why are you tightening your face again? What is this? What is that? No. Tell him, darling, I know how it is. Please, be comfortable with me. There are words you use. There are sweet words you use. That is where you must go to your vocabulary of sweet words. Let it come out of you. Say words that will make your husband feel at ease and happy at that period of time. Is very, very important indeed. And of course, the last thing I want to let you know, and I want you to listen to me attentively, because that's my point of number 5. Please don't take important decisions in the family without carrying your husband along. I have seen women who, practically gave out their daughters in marriage simply because the man has lost his source of income and had no longer authority in his home. And the woman, practically was almost, giving out her daughter to the potential husband. It's not fair. I have seen women who practically undermine their husband by going out to buy a landed property or building a whole house without letting the husband know. Let me ask you as a woman, if you are doing this, who is then your next of kin? Who is your next of kin? Who is your head anyway? I have seen women who take some vital decisions, who even decide to travel abroad without the knowledge of their husband. I have seen women who do one or two things without the knowledge of their husband, simply because they no longer see the man in him. No, I want to let you know that the man in him is still in him. But if you continue to undermine him and he finds himself in alcoholism or in drug addiction, or he begins to do some certain things that he ought not to do or that he was not doing before, then the fault is yours and not his. There is an opportunity to weigh your relationship, especially if you are going through this kind of relationship right now. Know that it is very, very important what you do at this period in time. What you do now, the actions you take, the words you use, will determine whether your relationship or whether your marriage will stand the test of time. Whether your marriage will get to the distance or to the finishing line. Please, once again, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, do so immediately. This red button by my side is the place to click. Once you click on it, you become subscribed, and we begin to do this every week. We already have 140 videos, and we have more than 1,000 more that is coming. And if you want to enrich your marriage, this is the place to be. Marriage Without Tears channel. I look forward to seeing you next week, and have an awesome weekend.